It's your boy Big Bootsie, man. I'm back once again, man. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Coming up here, hit that notification button, man. Hit that notification. Please hit that like button. Please hit that like button. And I'd like to shout out to everybody that showed me love. Show me love, man. For real. Big shout out to all y'all out there, my knowledgeable people, man. I had to come in and tap in on this one. I had to go and tap in on this one. And see, these are the things I be saying, how, these podcasters like to go in on people and talk about people that's in the public eye, the limelight, that got their name buzzing in the media. Bonds got his name buzzing in the media right now. Hassan has said stuff about Bonds before in the past and things of that nature. But it's always just the negativity part about how these podcasters come at cats that's on the negative side. And I just wonder. It makes me wonder, like, how could you turn something around and fit a narrative of how you want it to fit what you trying to say? I get it because it makes money. I get it. I get it, bro. But I'm gonna break this down, man. I'm gonna break this down. For one, Cassie already said in the transcripts, or wherever she said it, on the stand, transcripts, however, y'all know what I'm talking about, how Rodger Bonds was the one that always came and stopped Puff when he was there for putting hands on her. She gave that man his flowers. Why ain't nobody doing a podcast about that? Speaking about how at least out of the group of people, they saying, well, you was there before, you was there, and you was the security, like they saying about Gene. We know you seen something and you ain't never stop it and none of that. Nobody's saying, well, Rodger Bonds, we give you thumbs up. Cassie said that you did stop Puff when you was there and seen it happening in real time. She said that. She gave him his props. Why nobody talks about that? Why no podcasters give up no kind of props to people, man? Unless it's something that's going to still benefit their channel to get some money. Why? So I'm going to give y'all a quick story, man. So, one of my homeboys' name is D Funch. D Funch was running with Rodger Bonds in Atlanta. And while he's running with Rodger Bonds in Atlanta, he tell Bonds, like, yo, man, the Ciroc is going crazy right now. You got Rick Ross talking about it, talking about Ciroc boys. You got Meek Mills talking about Ciroc boys. When all the rappers talking about it. He said, yo, ask Puff, man. Can we, you start Ciroc Boys South? And that's what Bonds did. He asked Puff, can he start Ciroc Boys South? Because he wanted to make his own moves. He don't want to be having to ask Puff for no money and things of that nature. And Puff told him, all right, that's what you do then. And that's what he did. And Puff gave him the access and told all the club owners that he had the accounts with. Bonds is going to be the one handling the accounts, and Bonds is going to eat off every case that is being sold out of there, and Bonds is going to be the one that control these parties. I was one of the Ciroc boys that Bonds came to North Carolina, inducted me in as a Ciroc boy. The chain y'all see me wearing, Ciroc boy, but I call it Cool Bootsie now because I can't be a part of a movement that goes, that is being looked at as the leader that beat on women, because I don't beat on women. But I spent $5 grand for the chain, so it's still monumental to me. It is what it is. Bonds came through. We had the bylaws that had everything where you could do parties. You still had to get consent for parties that you throw, which was a smart move because we used to create Ciroc Boys in Philly. They used to do their thing, doing a lot of Ciroc Boy parties. Used to go to VA, even was all going to London, traveling everywhere. Barnes was making his own money, doing his own thing. So for Hassan to call him a broke security and all that, sound crazy, bro. And then you need to hear the messages, or not the messages, the stories of when Puff didn't pay Bonds on several occasions, man. If you hear everything else, why you never heard these stories? When Bonds never get paid all his money and did all the overtime working and all of the above and never got none of his money. And certain things and certain times he had done stuff with Puff for free, bro. So you need to ask those questions before you speak on what you heard. That's the only thing you got out of the story of when Bond said that Puff told him no, but now he need him to help him. But let me finish real quick. So as you know, we making moves. We in North Carolina, I'm doing some Rock Boy parties in North Carolina. We in South Carolina doing parties, and then a lot of our times we was in Miami doing parties. Had Fat Joe out there. We was doing parties with Stevie J. The Fat Joe joint we did was in Miami. We did a few Miami spots, and then we was in Atlanta a lot. It was a specific time. We had the crib out there, big house that my boy Funch had got. It was the Ciroc Boy mini mansion that he had for us when we was down there. And one particular night, we had a big party at Alex Club. What was the name of the club, man? Everybody used to go to, man. Anyway, the dude Alex, everybody know Alex that own the clubs out there. So I'm dressed already. Barnes was coming from his house. So when he came from his house, I let him in the door. He was like, yo, where everybody at? I'm like, they getting dressed, man. I've been dressed. I'm waiting for them. He was like, all right, cool. And we just started talking. His phone rang. He's like, hold on, man. This Cassie, man. And I told this story years ago to a lot of my personal friends. I never really spoke about it because it wasn't none of my business to be talking out to the masses about it and all that. I just spoke to some of my close friends about it, that it was unbelievable. But I already knew about the Puff hitting on Cassie stuff. But he was like, man, this Cassie, man. He walks outside, go get on the phone, he talking and all that. So I'm walking around, I'm still waiting for these dudes. So I ain't thinking nothing of it. I'm walk outside, get me some fresh air, nice summer day, so summer evening, summer, nighttime. Y'all know when that nice little cool weather. So I'm walking outside. And he over there talking, I'm minding my business. And I just see him going, all right, sis, I got you. I'll be there, I got you. I got you, man. Okay, all right. And he hang up the phone, walk over to me and say, yo, man, I'm gonna just have to meet y'all at the venue, man. I'm like, what's going on? He was like, man, Puff, man, again, hitting on Shorty again. I'm like, what you mean? He said, yeah, man, this is always a problem. I'm the only dude he really trusts around her. So she calling me right now, to help her, like, just comfort her and all that. She crying crazy on the phone right now. And homie just left up out of there, man. So I'm gonna go over there and make sure she good, and I'll meet y'all at the event. I'm like, all right, cool. That's what it is. I'm just saying that to say he always been her rock in her comfort zone. Puff never really let nobody be around her, but he let Bonds be around her. So that's just showing you the type of friendship that he is with Bonds. To let him around his woman. Everybody done watched this documentary and done seen the trial, heard of things in the trial, or should I say, and how he didn't like people around none of his girls. He would flip on them and beat them up and stuff like that because another man, the Kid Cuddies and all that, blowing cars up allegedly and all that. But he liked Bonds around him. So this is deeper than what you talking about, Hassan. I get it's content, man, but y'all be bugging about all that. But I wanted to do a quick reaction to break some of this down for you about how this goes. So you can understand what that no meant to Bonds is different from a no to somebody else. Period. How many people did he owe their money to them, and not paying them their money? So what do you mean no? That the man couldn't accept no. And under those circumstances, about his son being locked up in Africa, and Puff got the power to at least make something happen. And what, like, are you serious? But we know you are, because you talk about people on the live kids and all that, so we know where your mouth will go at with it. But I'm just trying to figure out, what are you talking about? For real. But we're going to react to some of this, y'all.
I'm gonna need y'all to miss me with them. Miss me with all the blacks. Miss me with all the, yo, it's a black man tearing another black man. Miss me with all that bull. This black power when it's time to be black power. It's not black power as a thought pattern every day.
And this is Bonds talking, and he been on the go and posting mad stuff, and a few of my other friends was helping post stuff he making shirts and selling shirts and all that to help get his son attorney bill paid. Keep commissary on his son's books. He's out making moves, getting donations for him. So he wasn't around with his hand out, man. Mind you, to go back to the Ciroc boy story, I go to his Barnes house down there. He got his own garage down there, filled up with cases of Ciroc. We open it up. We in there grabbing cases and cases and cases. Some take them to that club, some take them to that club, but we take them to the club we going to. So he been getting money and making moves. So, and he don't live in the city. If he live in the city now, that's what it is. But he ain't never been in the city, and y'all gonna let y'all hear why I'm saying that, because of what Hassan is talking about.
You got people that don't even know
this Bonds.
The person don't know you. Yo, why you up bringing the black man down? Why you black man out you? Hey, nobody. So when you sit there and say, oh, black people, I mean, it was 50. When y'all sit there and say, yo, 50 Cent bashing another black man and bringing another black man down, y'all sound hypocritical. Y'all sound stupid.
And one thing about this 50 and Diddy, whatever it is, a beef or whatever, only reason why everybody going crazy about it, because they don't know why the beef started with 50 and Diddy. They don't know the ins and outs. Maybe if people know why 50 really have a beef with him. See, a lot of people looking at it like 50 don't have a beef with him, and he just trolling Diddy, and he took this trolling all the way to the next level. But people were saying that he did have a beef with him. So my take is, if a person got a beef with you, they can take it to wherever and however they want. If a person did something to you, I don't know to the extent of what it is. I'm just saying, if that's what it is. If he did something to 50 and 50 don't want to speak on it, or people that is in his circle and outside of the circle a little bit might know about it, nobody can't be mad at that. Nobody. I don't condone sending somebody to jail, and I don't watch that documentary, and that joint ain't about nothing. The city college part of it is bogus. I was in the middle of it helping push people through, and I know for a fact it wasn't Diddy's fault. That's a fact. It was the police fault that was standing in the front. Anyway, if Fifth got a beef with him and he got a beef with 50, a man can take it there however they want to, man. There's no rules when it's wartime and whatever you want to do to a person. So I wouldn't be in the middle of what's going on with Diddy. I feel bad that he in there for those fake charges. But I'm saying I can't take side for 50. I can't take side for Diddy. I could just tell you where I come from, though. If a person got a problem with you, I can't tell 50 that he wrong for doing what he doing. That's just that. Puff got to hold it down and get out and fight back the best way he can. That's how it happens when you got a beef. A person might beat you all the way down to the ground, and when you revive and heal up and all that, then you got all right to take it and do what you want to do after that. At this point is the only thing that I can see Puff doing. I know for a fact that that documentary cannot send Puff to jail. It's nothing but the same stuff we already been hearing and hearing over and over again. They have no proof of nothing that Puff unalive Tupac or Biggie. All of it, the documentary is put together so well. I seen documentaries that look just as good as that. It look good, put together well, but it ain't talk about nothing that we ain't already heard. Maybe a little bit of extra stuff that we ain't hear, but it's nothing major about it. The hype be crazy. It was like the hype with them for them Popeye's restaurant. Everybody was going crazy. They don't even know what they was going crazy for. I go and taste the food from the Popeye. I'm like, what everybody going crazy for? Marketing is powerful. And to be honest, Netflix should get a lot of the blame because Netflix is behind it. They just use 50 name. And that's just that. But anyway, as I was saying, the Ciroc bottles, the boxes packed up. The man been making his own moves. He always lived in a nice neighborhood, nice house. He wasn't in the city like Hassan trying to complain about. We getting ready to check it out though. We're gonna finish.
Nothing to do with race. This don't got nothing to do with, oh, he's black, I'm black. You can't be black when you want to be black and want to be white at another time. That's just like I told you. Diddy don't want to be in Harlem. Y'all heard it inside the truck. He felt like, it was like, you outgrow things, yo. You outgrow things. He outgrew Harlem. Why do you think he never want to come back to Harlem in all these years? He didn't come back to Harlem until the celebrities didn't want to be around him because he was hot. Oh, I don't want to be seen with him now, so I'm going to go back home where I know they're going to accept me because they don't know no better.
And is that right? For Diddy to come back to the city once all the celebrity friends don't want to be around no more because he hot with the police, with all this beating people or allegedly beating on women and all of that. Because I've been telling people, them celebrities, half of them is all doing that to their women. Not only that, in New York growing up, dudes always was beating on their women. And not saying that is right, but nobody never got in trouble for it. But Haas said one thing in this joint we about to listen to right now, rather. All the New Yorkers should be locked up in the hoods and all that for beating on their women. A lot of them do it, which is corny. We never let none of them type of dudes hang around us. You beat on your woman, you can't hang around us, man. Almost popped for hitting on a woman that just cool with us in the hood. And he got mad at me for grabbing his arm, told him to stop. But it's a lot of people that do that. But Puff come back now and want to get love and walk through the neighborhoods and see who like him and love him and all that. And then it backfired on him by this footage being turned over to the wrong hands that he didn't think was going to get it. And he got in the car and spoke bad, saying he got to go wash now after being around or touching on all these people and all of that. I get it. When you outside, being around everybody, you can't make an excuse for it. Well, maybe he just was, he wanted to go and wash, man, by touching everybody, man. Some people are germaphobes like that. I get it. What? Still, you ain't got to say it in that manner, man. Because if you pay attention to the sentence and how he spit it fluently, it's basically saying, I done touched all these people and joking like in a joking manner in that documentary. And now you want to come back to where you want to be loved and then still talk about people. But we're going to listen.
So it's not about a black man putting down a black man, because by him coming back to Harlem, he put us down. Because he know that black people going to accept him. Black people going to let him back in. And what does he do when black people let him back in? Get inside the truck and talk about him. Oh, I got to go wash my hands. Oh, no, I got to go take a bath. Huh? And then y'all still want to take a side and say, yo, but this person is bashing this person because they black or it. Like, if y'all sit down and listen to yourself, y'all sound stupid. It comes a time when you got to say enough is enough. This ain't about being black. This ain't about a black man going against a black man. This is about right and wrong. Period.
Right
Point
or
blank.
wrong?
I'm not feeling no type of weight talking about him because you took advantage of me, and just like Kalina said, when I asked you for something I needed, you told me you ain't have it. But then when Cassie went to court, you pick up the phone, I might need a favor from you.
And that's the part where Hassan is about to start speaking about. If a man tell you no, he ain't got it. See, Hassan let the rest of it play. I don't got it. For a lawyer, a $20,000 lawyer, $10,000 lawyer, for your friend, because his son or his daughter or whoever that you know worked for you for years, and there's been times that you didn't even pay him all of his money, and you know he actually did things for you on his own personal time and didn't even ask for the money or ask for money or just did it for you. You mean to tell me that he wasn't friends enough to help that man with his son to get him out of jail, but now he about to go to jail himself, and he got the audacity to ask this man he needs a favor? How Hassan could even do a reaction to this right here? When they supposed to be friends like brothers, even though he was still his security. And done been places everywhere with him risking his life for Puff. When Puff could have been getting shot at, tried to get robbed, unalive, he got to stand in front of that. How could Hassan even have the audacity to do a reaction to this and say it as if Bonds couldn't respect the word no for some money? And then saying because you are broke or whatever. Who you think paying for his son's stuff now regardless? For you to fix your mouth to say somebody broke when their son life is on the line for something he didn't even do and been in there 14, 15 years for something he didn't even do. He ain't even got sentenced. Nothing is happening. And then people saying he didn't even do it. Credible witnesses. He's in there under false pretenses. And Puff got the power to reach out to these politicians to go over there the same way how they went over there to get that girl that played, basketball or something, and got caught with just a weed something or something, and they Trump and then went and got her. And this was when Puff was in good with Trump. Couldn't pull no kind of strings and make no noise for your boy. And then when you get in something, and he knows that you was beating on this woman, you still want to ask him for a favor, which that means he would have had to lie for Puff and say Puff didn't do none of these things. It would have had to lie, so he asking him to even lie. It ain't just a favor, he asking him to lie. And you got the audacity to make a reaction to this joint because the man told him no for his son. And you saying it as if Rodger Bond don't have a right to be mad that he told him no? You act like he asked him to buy him an outfit or buy him a car or even buy him a house. Yeah, those are no words if you don't want to. Even if you got the money, you might need your money for what you need it for. But this ain't something that he wanted to front, floss, whatever. This is a whole different demographic, man. What kind of heart do y'all got as men, period? It doesn't even matter what color you are to even react to this. But we're going to listen to this, y'all.
Make my disclaimer before I get in on this topic, right? I am not a fan of Diddy, and I've been going at Diddy for years. But there's a line that you don't cross. There's a line that you don't cross. See, the scales of justice have been balanced. And that man is dealing with his consequences of everything that he did. They took a king, a ruler, and turned him into a slave. So that ain't enough. That ain't enough for you?
That ain't enough for who? Ain't enough for who? It is very wrong that they putting the man in jail for fake charges, RICO, and all that BS. But what that got to do with anybody else? Now I get it. People going at him because they saying that he's a monster, he did this and that. I don't agree to none of that neither. He should have been locked up for that, should have been charged for that. I get it, but we're gonna listen. I'm just trying to get to the part with the Rodger Bond's part, but I'm still trying to let y'all hear a little bit of what he's saying so y'all can dissect it for what y'all dissect it for. Tell me in these comments, am I bugging out?
See, you gotta be careful when you start to get money, right? You gotta be very careful when you start to get money because your friends become your enemies. Diddy told him no.
That's a true fact. You gotta be careful when you get money because a lot of your friends is your enemies because they want to be you. I know that firsthand. I've got rid of a lot of friends and I've been getting money for years, long time. So I know those circumstances. So yeah, he's saying some stuff right now, but we're gonna get to it.
And Diddy had every right to tell him no.
How this man gonna speak that Diddy had every right to tell somebody no, that which is one of his friends that been through thick and thin with Diddy? If he wasn't a real friend of Diddy that been through thick and thin, Diddy wouldn't have even been thinking about calling him on the phone when he got arrested to say, or was about to turn himself and say, I need you. I need you. So that alone tell you what kind of friend Bonds is. That already showing Hassan his way out of line, be starting this off right now. But we're going to finish.
Get locked up in Africa, and that becomes Diddy's.
I want y'all to hear.
Diddy told him no. And Diddy had every right to tell him no. Your child get locked up in Africa, and that becomes Diddy's problem?
What that got to do with anything? What kind of talk is that? And that becomes Diddy problem. Just because you asking your friend for a favor, that mean that that's their problem? His son is out there just doing stuff for school. He wasn't out there hustling, selling drugs. He was out there for school and got caught up in somebody else's bull crap that he didn't even know was coming to his way towards him. Nothing. What that got to do with anything with Hassan talking about, man? And he say it in the cadence to sound like he know what he talking about, or to sound like he's speaking about something that's right. You way out of line with all of that, bro. But we gonna listen.
Child committed whatever crime that those people over there thought that he committed, and it becomes.
See, it's those words. Whatever crime that your child, that the people over there thought that he committed. See, thought. And you don't even know about the case. Before you would have reacted to this, you should have went and got the case, so you would know that the words you saying don't even sound right. It's people that's witnessed and said he wasn't even in that house or wasn't even around the situation. They have no gun, no nothing. But you up here speaking about it and making it sound like because he's in jail, that's the harsh, it sound harsh. You're wilding, bro. You only making yourself believe your own lies right now with this story. This is an unnecessary take that you did, what you be saying.
His job to get your son out of jail and get lawyers for you.
No, it's his own job to get him out of jail. But it's a friend and somebody that you call a brother, is their job. But is it his job to be up there speaking and have to go tell lies that the man wasn't hitting on Cassie when he know that the man was hitting on Cassie? Would that been his job to do that? When Diddy called and asked him that? You sound out of line, man.
And see, let's be real. I need for y'all to put this in the comment section.
Yeah, please put it in the
Y'all
comments.
watching me. Which one of y'all paying for somebody to go to jail? Half y'all don't even want to send somebody to commissary. So because Diddy said no, but Diddy asked him to do him a favor that didn't cost him nothing, and he decided to get revenge of.
He said it wouldn't cost Bonds nothing. If you get on that stand and tell a lie in federal court, that's an automatic year for lying. What do you mean it won't cost him nothing? It cost him his freedom to get up there and lie. Not only that, his integrity. His trust that people would have in him, knowing that he would lie. Even though, you know, we'd do a lie for our friends and all that, but for you to ask your man to get on the stand and lie for you and chance his life and risk his life, that make Diddy a cool dude? That you just describing Diddy to be a effed up dude. What like people saying right now? What you mean it won't cost him nothing? It'll cost him his freedom, nigga. What is you talking about, bro? You wilding with this one. The money is what's nothing. The money is what you can get back. The money, Bonds can pay it back. Puff can't pay him his freedom back if they catch him in a lie on that stand for lying for Puff. Which it'll be easy because Cassie already done said that Bonds helped her and grabbed Diddy's hand and stopped him. So what would he wanted Bonds to do? If you saying it ain't cost him nothing. Bonds ain't even tell you what he wanted. But even if he did, what could he ask Bonds to do? That wouldn't have cost him nothing. Or that he could have paid Bonds back if Bonds would have got caught lying and go to jail. Would he told him, nah, put his year on mine if I get convicted. But Bonds could pay him the money back though, because he's still here. And that's what friends is for. See, it's friends like you would have to watch out for. Because everybody's supposed to accept the word no. But under these circumstances, brother, where we come from, we help each other and when our family is in need, when our friends is locked up and all that. And if one of our friends say no and he got the money, we know he got the money. Not only that, did you hear Bonds say right after that, he went and gave some other people some money. Right after that, he had went and donated a lot of money to people. Do you know that story? When he first really told Bonds no, I know about it. He went and donated money and all that, which is cool and all that. But 20, 30,000 would have had to been missing out of money I donated to make sure my boy go get his son, man. Especially when his son is innocent, bro. You got the audacity to do that. To come up here and try to react to that. When a man's son still is down there unjustifiable, bro. And you keep talking about how many times you've been in prison and in jail and all that. And you said you was in there for bodies or whatever you did. So you knew you was in there for a reason, but I bet you didn't like it. So imagine being in there for something you know you didn't do for 14, 15 years and you ain't even seen a trial or no real evidence against you. Imagine that, dog. And then your boy that call you his brother that you risk your life for going out on big tours and all that, where it's very dangerous on that road, tells you no to help your son, but then come and tell you, I need a favor. That's a smack in the face, nigga. What you talking about, bro? You wild.
Diddy, because Diddy wouldn't give him money. His story is not Cassie's story. And even in Cassie's situation, Cassie got $30 million.
And thanks to him, his story can't be her story because he ain't no punk. That's first of all. Ain't nobody gonna be beating on him. So what you talking about? What sense does Cassie's story got to do with him? He's part of her story, which she should have sent him some money too. If you want to get technical about it, when she got that 30 million and said the man that helped her, and I listened to him talk to her on the phone, and she begging him to come and hold her down because she crying. And he stopped what he was doing. And we went and handled it, and he went and handled that. And she ain't give him a dime. Why you ain't talking about that, bro, on your podcast, my G?
Not only did Cassie get $30 million, but the man is in jail. Not because he committed a crime, but because he had a beef with the corporations, the liquor corporations. He had a beef with the people that cashes his check. So that became our business? No. But they made it our business. We can't get the corporations to pay attention that nothing we got going on.
Yeah, because they know people like us is people like you that help the corporations, that talk about the people that they tear down and put on TV, and then y'all react to it and start talking about that person, and it blinds our community to the bull crap that those corporations that you are talking about right now, it helps them to tear down the black man and put him behind there, because this is what y'all do. Y'all podcasters that talk junk about people, man. Y'all are part of the problem yourself. That's why. And it's easy for them to do it every time. By making public opinion about our own people. Like you talking right now, trying to tear down a man acting like he was bumming, asking for money. And that ain't what it is, man. And if he ain't got that type of money for a lawyer, cause he done spent, and they just keeping his son down there and keeping him down there. Lawyers keep add up, bro. But it's people like you that these corporations are able to feed off of, picking any one of us they feel like and put us on TV and talk all lies, and we blinded behind it. Luckily, Puff had money to fight through that and show that that's foolery. And none of y'all talking about that.
Now, the world is watching as the vultures around Diddy eat his flush. Because that's exactly what's going on. And I can't paint a nice picture of this. Rodger Bond was Diddy's bodyguard / friend.
Exactly.
What about your friends? Are they going to stand their ground? Are they going to be around?
If that ain't hypocritical, he's contradicting himself and all that right now. Diddy in jail. So Bond's supposed to help him. Bond's son is in jail. Diddy wasn't facing no jail time, no nothing. Getting money. Doing whatever he doing, getting money. No, he got 30, 40,000 to get to this man. And this man just sing this song right here and try to make it look like Bonds is the one that's doing wrong. But now Diddy in jail, and he need him to help him. But he wouldn't help this man get his son out. Does that make sense to y'all, man? Please, man. Drop some of that in my comment section and let me know if I'm bugging out with this Hassan Campbell dude is talking about, man. The more I'm listening to it, the more it's really like upset me, because it's real ignorance. This is real ignorance right here at its best, man. And to show you, this is to show you how people such as himself, these podcasters, make their money by trying to turn a narrative around another way just to sound like it makes sense. It don't even make sense. He's contradicting himself right now. Puff supposed to want help for him to get out of jail. And it won't cost Bonds nothing except for his freedom if he get caught lying. Little Kim got a year for lying at that Hot 97 thing that they had on the federal stand. Can't lie on the federal stand. So it'll cost him his freedom. But Bonds asking for something just because it costs 20, 30,000, which is peanuts to a person like Diddy. Now it's like he wrong for asking for his son that's in jail. What kind of sense does this guy here make right here, y'all? Please tell me, man.
And they smile in your face. All the while they want to take your place.
That's right.
I don't want to live to find out how dirty one of my friends will do me because I told them no.
Not only that, he just said he don't want to find out how dirty his friend could do him if they told him no, right? So he's basically saying Rodger Bond is doing Diddy dirty because Rodger Bond basically telling him no, he ain't gonna help him. for him to get out of jail. Which was all right. Even if Diddy gave him the money, he still couldn't get up there and lie. He would have to say, all right, I'll get up there, but I'm going to have to plead the fifth. He still wouldn't be able to lie if Diddy gave him the money. But Hassan making it seem like Rodger Bond's doing him dirty for saying no. Even if Rodger couldn't get a year, right? But him telling him, nah, you ain't gonna help me with my son. Getting out of jail, but you want me to help you get out of jail. That makes sense to you? Because I was asking for money? No, it don't work like that. You should be singing that song to Diddy first, bro. You just sat there and said that was Rodger Bond was Diddy's bodyguard and friend. So people don't get a friend's money to help their family when it's known fact that he got it. He flaunts it. He talks about it. All of that. For all this happened, Diddy was on the clouds, boy. Talking that fly boy before he seen this storm coming. And now the storm hit him. Now you know his people again. You sound crazy, Haas. You bugging, son. Who told you to do this? I know ain't nobody told you. I don't even know why I asked that dumb question. Let's go, man.
I don't want to live to find out. Could you imagine how you feel? Well, the nigga you just told, no, my money is my money. Put the final nail in your coffin?
And his freedom is his freedom. Not only that, why would you ask a dude to do that when you know that you did him dirty, man? Did his son, you wouldn't look out for him, his son. Why would you ask him to look out for you? I would feel crazy asking someone. I'm only in my mind, I'm gonna say, man, I ain't even gonna ask him. I told him no. And he just seen me doing this, buying and buying that, or I just said I bought this, or I donated money over here, and I told him no to help his son. I ain't even gonna ask him. But nah, see, Diddy ain't no person that ever been to jail and all that. So he don't even care who he offends. He gonna ask. And he asked. Like a person supposed to overlook it because he's Diddy. See, these are the reasons why he in there, because of the things that he was being selfish with. He only cared about what he got going on and what he doing, man. I'm not making this up. It's just in the tabloids. I'm not against Diddy. I'm just speaking about things that's actual facts that I've seen, that all of y'all seen out there. And this right here is just a prime example to open that door up to speak about it right now. Can't do that. I wish somebody would come ask me for something after you will tell me no, and I know you don't have all reasons to say no. Everybody know Diddy tight with money, Hassan. Everybody. It's all through the documentary. We've been through all this anyway, before this documentary stuff and all that, man. So what is you talking about, dog? What you seeing that real people is not seeing? You're bugged out, bro.
And even when you in jail, while you suffering, while you in jail, have you ever been in jail? Do y'all know what it's like to be in jail? Y'all still kicking this man?
I get that part. Don't kick the man while he down. But there's a lot of people out here that don't like people that beat on women. And that's been shown. It's been shown, bro. So that's the only thing that nobody can feel sorry for Diddy for. That he beat on the women. I get it. They try to use that to blind people, the jurors, to make them say guilty for a RICO and all that. But that wasn't a RICO, and the jurors wasn't stupid. That's not what he was charged for, so y'all want me to believe this. Y'all, the jurors speak about that too in the documentary. So just let's go there. But people have their own right to their opinion. I'm with the don't tear the man white down. I'm with that. I don't want to see that. I'd rather him come home and get counseling and learn how to not beat on women, man. Everybody get a second chance and stuff, and I'm a firm believer in that. You get a second chance. It's just like being on drugs. You go to a rehab and get classes, treatment, and then do right. It ain't like he killed no woman and killed them and R.I.P. him and all that. Thank you God that he didn't. So we can say give him a second chance. Because other than that, I'll definitely always dog it out. But I'm just saying, I get that part. But people gonna have a right to feel how they want to feel at this point because of that. And him being in jail, he shouldn't be in jail for them little bogey charges that he got. He should be out. It's bogus. But they want to cover up them DAs from bringing these charges on him is why they had to give him something to try to make it look good because because they're going to look bad if they would have let him come home. And because it's out in the public and everybody was assassinating his name and everything on these podcasts that a lot of y'all negative podcasters do, made it go viral along with regular news. So that's just that, bro.
Putting him in jail, testifying in court, speaking to the district attorney wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. See, I don't know about y'all, but that scares me. And the part about, Diddy didn't like going back to Harlem, I hate going back to the Bronx. I only go back to the Bronx to see my people, my family down there, my niggas that's still down there, because they won't come up to the suburbs. And every time I go down to the Bronx, I gotta look over my shoulders, because I don't be moving around with security.
And you gotta look over your shoulders, and you know why. Because you just talked a lot of crazy talk about a lot of people, bro. It ain't because you just a famous face and they want to get at you because you a famous face. Real celebrities are famous because of their talents and things of that nature. And it's definitely a money situation. So people are looking for a Vic. So they would look at you as a Vic because they know you got money. But your main problem also more than anything is because of the stuff that you say about people and you created a problem for yourself. And I can give you this, when I seen little videos of you with your people and your friends that you do have down there, you ain't saying, you got to go home and take a bath and all that. You out showing love. So you showing love with your people, but you saying that to say what? We're finished listening.
Look over my shoulders. Because it ain't nothing but broken people down there that's looking to break you.
And that ain't everybody. And if you loved in your hood, you ain't even got to worry about that, bro. I go to my hood all the time. I've been doing what I do for years. They see me, they automatically, they know Bootsie doing well, or even if I ain't, they wouldn't know. But in their mind, I'm known for getting money for years, period. But I still can go stand in my hood. I always stood in my hood, period. I can do it. I ain't got to worry about nobody doing nothing to me. Because, when you show love, you get love back. And I love going back to the hood, seeing my people. And I know I ain't going to be there all day, every day. But I love going to the hood, seeing my people. Why I don't want to not go there? Because people is broken. People are broken everywhere, even in the suburbs. It doesn't matter. How you not want to go back and see your people sometime, where you come from? That doesn't even make sense. But we're finished listening, man, to this foolery.
Time I go down to the Bronx, there's mad rats and roaches running all over the place. Literally. Garbage piled up in front of every building.
Now he's too good for where he come from. But when you gonna make a difference then? When you gonna figure out how to get the garbage from not being piled up in front of the buildings and all that? Because first of all, that's New York culture for sanitation itself. You gotta put the garbage bags. The supers put the garbage bags out there for the sanitation department to come pick them up. That's just the way of life in Harlem. That ain't nothing to be shunning our people for. And that's where you come from. It is what it is. You ain't got to see it every day if you move from there. Thank God you got a chance to get out of there. But it ain't never good to go get out of where you come from and sell your soul just for some money to talk stuff and crap about people, and then you gotta look over your shoulder. That's the dangerous part of how you make your money, and then you got to move into a better place. So you don't got the right to shun New York City, the Bronx, period. Like that sound crazy, bro. If I was your homeboys, I'd be like, yo, bro, why you gotta be talking about our block like that? We can't move from here, but we work, got a good job. The crib is nice and everything. So what was that's going on out? We grew up with the loud noise and all. That's just New York City, bro. But listen to what this guy say, y'all. And he don't think he sound like a hypocrite. He think he talking real gangster, real slick, real uppity talk now.
It's unsanitized. It's overpopulated. It's
This man said it's unsanitized. It's overpopulated. That's New York's. Am I bugging? Please tell me I'm bugging. Or tell me I'm not bugging in the comments, y'all. But yo, this is wild right here, man. Make sure y'all share this. Please hit that like button for me, man. Please hit the subscribe button, y'all. Because this here is getting better and better, y'all. Listen.
it's very noisy. I go outside my yard right now, crickets. You can hear the birds chirping. You get down to the city, all you...
Now, that's a way of him shunning New York. That's a way of him bragging about his house, that he could go outside and you hear the birds and the crickets chirping and all that. What does that got to do with anything? How did you get there, brother? By talking about rappers in a negative manner. After being brought into the game, I think Doggy Diamonds brought him into the game, and he told his story and the world felt bad for him and embraced him. And then he turned it around and figured out that talking about rappers, it did good when he did one, I guess. And it started doing numbers and numbers, and he started making money. And now it's like, oh, I ain't even got to come outside no more. These checks looking good. But you saying that to say what, bro? You better than New Yorkers now because you found the way out? Basically really selling your soul, but you found a way out? That's what's up. You found a way out. But what that got to do with, some people like living in New York. That's what they know. They ain't pressed for all that other extra stuff, but some people not. I can go out of my house right now, it's crickets. In my backyard, big grill back there. Do what I want to do. I got this crickets. I'm from Harlem, but I love going to Harlem. I love going home. Sometimes I love hearing that noise. It'd be too quiet around here sometimes for me, to be honest. And I've been in this house since 2006, bro. So I've been doing this. So, and this is just one house that I had. I had more than one. Big facts. But let's finish, man. And I'm only saying that to say it ain't about bragging. To say he's really not saying nothing. And that ain't cool, what he's saying right now.
It's bottom line to it is, when you get a better taste of life, that man earned himself and I earned for myself, nah, you don't want to.
He said that man earned for himself, and he said, and what I earned for myself. Now he putting himself in the equation. It doesn't matter. You still are still a product of your environment where you come from, brother. Doesn't matter what that got to do with what you earned for yourself. We talk about Diddy and Bonds, aren't we? How we talk about you? That's like bragging points, bruh.
That's the silent truth that a lot of people, they think they better than us. No, the quality of living is better.
No, the way you saying it makes the people right. You saying you think you better than them the way you saying this right now. And Puff calling somebody dirty. He gotta wash his hands and take a bath because the people is dirty. Now people that walk outside probably took showers, got cologne on, shook his hand and everything. Now they dirty because they from Harlem. So wherever else he at with his other people, they ain't dirty, huh? Some of them rich clowns that Puff been around, Probably stinking dirty, probably don't even take showers. That's a fact. I've been around rich white people, man, be stink. More than one time. Stop it, bro. You can't tell me nothing. Nothing. I'm sure you did your homework on me by now, but that's a fact, boy.
It's way better. And some of us decided to live better than the way we used to live. And some of y'all want to be there forever, forever, ever, forever. That's your choice. The hell you gonna get mad at a nigga? Because he decided that he didn't feel too clean or too cozy because he lives in a mansion with swimming pools and palm trees all over the place. He fell, you didn't.
What do the pool and palm trees got to do with him being disrespectful to people in New York? New York is some of the cleanest, flyest people you ever gonna meet. Get fresh every day for nothing. What is this dude Hassan talking about, man? Well, Puff been living. Was he dirty when he was living here before he got to the mansion and the trees and the palm trees? So that means he was dirty before he left from here. Basically, is what you saying. You was dirty before you left. Yo. I lived in Arizona. Big pool in the back. Nice trees. I wake up every day, jump in my pool. And still had this house right here, brother. But I still go to Harlem. They ain't even counting the other spots where a brother lived at, where I lived at in other areas out here in NC. And I ain't saying that to brag. I'm just saying it to you. You're not saying nothing but a word, my G. And I love going back to Harlem, to New York. I love going to the Bronx, seeing my peoples in the Bronx. I love going to Brooklyn, Queens. What are you talking about? You saying this to fit you in the equation? To keep, I guess to make, this podcast you doing, get a little lengthy time on it so you implicate you in this joint. And it's basically you showing off, man. That's what make people say you think you better than them. From this right here.
He don't want to be down here with us, nigga. You don't want to be down there. That's why he in jail. You want a better quality of life. You mad because the nigga told you no. You're old and broke. And ain't nothing worse than being old and broke.
How you know the man old and broke? What you know about him, man? Like, for real, what do you know about them, man? For you to say these words, bro. You don't even make sense. I never knew Bonds for being broke. Even if he was broke, he always had something that I can't say he was broke and nobody else could. He lived in Atlanta. He lived in South Carolina. He lived in a bunch of different places, man. That was his own. That's a fact. So what, you're not even making sense, my G. At all.
I'm sorry. Some of these niggas is older than me. And I come from a generation of, you know what I mean? We used to always say, I don't never want to see a man go to jail.
That's a fact.
Y'all trying to put the nigga up under the jail.
The man put himself in the jail. What? Because the man won't go and and risk his life got to do with putting somebody under the jail. The man put his own self under the jail. And this is what happens when you violate people's trust in you. This is what happens when you do people dirty and then you can't come back to where you come from and get the help that you need, because you wasn't trying to help nobody when you was smiling and everything was all good and honky-dory, bro. That's what this is called, Hassan Campbell. You can't come back after you shit on people, nigga. Is you crazy? and then expect somebody to help you, then you gotta ask Puff, like, who do you think you are? You can do that with other people that might be scared of you or a sucker, but you can't do that to everybody. And Bonds ain't no sucker. And he ain't gonna let nobody play him. So now you asking, you saying, yeah, he should go and do whatever Puff asking him to do. It don't matter about his son no more. That would be a smack in his son's face, boy. For him to go and help Puff when Puff wouldn't even help his own son, and his son sitting in jail, and say, Dad, you helping him and you asked him to help us and he wouldn't help you, and I'm sitting down here right now in jail for something I did not even do, and the judge know it and the prosecutors know it. Bro, where you, yo, my G, where you, like, come on, bro. How you was raised, my G? You wilding out right now, man. Me listening more and more to this, man. You wilding out. You are totally disrespectful, my G, and I already know it. How you did Gilly's son, bro. You still with it. So what, you got a nice house? You ain't the only one with nice houses and don't live. There's plenty of people that don't live in my lieutenant that used to run my spots, my little bro. Used to get high, drink. My brother, B Pipe. Got houses everywhere. I made sure that I got him right. And he got his mental right. Now he owned houses everywhere, selling them, renting them. Up in Albany, up in Georgia. In Brooklyn, he owns his own tenement, renting apartments out. House big as hell. With the pool in the back, right in New York City. When I go there, I got my own room. I don't have to go to hotels or Airbnb. And then walk out and jump in the pool when I want to. His wife curse him out if I'm in town. And don't tell her. So she can make sure my room's straight and all that. He's killing the game right now. The big boy house outside. The man cave. You ain't the only one talking about doing nothing, bro. We've been doing this. And there's plenty others that I can name. That is my friends that's doing their thing. But they still go to New York and love New York and show love to their friends. So this right here, what you talking about don't make sense. And they don't say they got to go take no baths after hanging out with their friends, where they came from, where they used to be fresh at. We was fresh on the block all the time, clean, stayed fresh, every day fresh for nothing. Getting money. You know about doing that? Impossible, because you wouldn't be having this conversation right now. Period. Do your homework on Bonds before you talk about him like that, bro. Period.
I understand certain people deserve to be in prison, but what Diddy is charged with, he does not deserve to go to jail for what he's charged with. Because the reality of it is, if Diddy deserved to go to jail,
I agree.
For beating up on Cassie, then 99% of the hood need to go to jail right now.
I agree to that.
They said when COVID was going on, that's all the phone calls they was getting was domestic violence. Niggas couldn't take being in the house with their girls. They was beating them up. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, because a lot of them live with their women. And this is the women's house. So I agree to that. But that still don't make it right for you to put your hand on them. But like I said, that's been going on way before COVID, brother. What you saying right now? You used to hear dudes run up on their girls. What you doing out here? Why you over here? Why you on this block? Get your ass back home. Smack them up and all that. And probably beat them up when they get home. We know it's been going on. So this ain't nothing new that you saying, my G. But I agree to that. Puff shouldn't be in there for none of this. Yeah. But what you doing right now and trying to condemn my boy, that's a no-no. And I ain't doing this because he's my boy. I'm pulling your coat, homie, with something in real life, man. I'm pulling your coat with something right now. You shouldn't be doing that. And you ain't even research talking about he a broke old dude and all that. How would you know what somebody is? You don't have the right. You ain't the only one got money and living in the house. We've been had houses way before you had a house. You got to catch up, homie. You got a nice house, and I like it. I like how you did the repairs and all that. That's love. And you know, when you ain't never really had one before, you got to do that. So you can get the feeling of, it's a house, I'll get another one. I get it. I commend you. You figured out a way, even though it's, you know, you kind of sold out to get the money by condemning other rappers and talking junk about people, and you got to risk your life now going outside. That I don't want a house that way. I always got mine the right way, whatever I got. Big facts. So you can't condemn nobody. And Puff saying no is a different type of telling somebody no to a person like Barnes. That's equivalent to telling a man that's holding you down every day, risking their life so you can be safe and go home to your family, and I might not go home to my family. But then when I need a favor, you tell me no. That's crazy. Now, when you get into some trouble, my son in jail, you going to get ready to go to jail, you want to ask me to help you, and my son is in jail. How would my son look at me as a man to help you after you told me no, that you can't help me, but you going to donate 10 million, 3 million, 1 million, whatever it is? That's deep, bro. For you to even make this podcast right here. Nothing you saying make any sense. For you to even try and make this make sense to your audience. And a lot of your audience, I need to read some of the comments, man.
The bottom line to it is, y'all can paint this picture 1,000 different ways, but Diddy right now is being persecuted because the people around him was poor and he had money.
How does, because the people around him is poor and he had money, got to do with him being in jail? His mouth is his own actions. His hands and feet is definitely his own actions. You already said that the liquor company did it to him, and that's when he started talking about suing them. That doesn't even make sense what you talk about. They poor and he had money. What the hell they got to do with anything, bro? I'm confused with this. And people will really listen to you, and really in their mental, you saying something right. That shows a lot about a lot of people that listens to you, and it shows a lot about their character and their mentals as well. This ain't got nothing to do with who's poor, who got rich. That Diddy made his own bed that he got to lay in, dog. What are you talking about? Even though they gave him a bogey charge and all that, yeah, but still, it's his business. They ain't got nothing to do with it. Bro, he been told Bonds no years ago, bro. Do you know that part? Years ago, he told Bonds no to help his son. Now, and he didn't never see this coming. Never would have thought that nobody else would have bet that this was going to happen to Puff. But it did. Now he want to come back and ask for help after somebody tells somebody no. These are the reasons why it's called don't burn your bridges. And when you burn your bridges with your friends, never know when you're going to need them. It's another saying. You same people you see on the way up, because he's rich and they poor, you're going to see him on the way down, brother. What is you talking about, homie?
He had poor, he was rich and they was poor. And that's the bottom line to it. Niggas, he couldn't tell niggas no. They couldn't handle it. Because I've heard this man's story. He said no. You got a chance to pay him back when you told him no. But that wasn't good enough. You want him to feel how much hatred you got? Yeah, we all, the world do. I feel it too. I feel all the hatred you have for Diddy, boy.
And he got all right to have hatred if he want to. That the man asking him to help him now, he wouldn't help his son. It's like, yo, what you take me for, Puff? Am I a sucker to you? I'm a clown? For you to have the nerve to ask me to help you get out of jail, and you wouldn't help my brother get out of, my son get out of jail? You think I'm supposed to have all smiles for you, boy? What is you talking about, Hassan? Yo, where your morals at, my G? For real. How you mad that another man mad that they leave his son in jail, knowing that I risked my life for you? I done stuff for you for free several times. I done worked for you, and the hours that I did work, you didn't even want to pay me. You wanted to deduct some hours that you wanted me still with you to stay over and extra. What do you, how does this make sense to you, bro?
That's my take on the situation.
I'm glad, man. I want to read some of the comments, man. Somebody said he in jail because karma caught up with him. They go a smart person. Big and Pac need justice. They deserve justice and peace. It's been way too long. Well, they'll never know. He'll never go to jail for that because all that's hearsay talk and all that. So I don't condemn. I don't want him to go to jail for something that he didn't do. And if nobody proving it, that's the police job. It's nobody else's job to get involved with that. That's the police job. They need to do their work. And if they've been trying, we don't know. Evidently, they haven't got any good information on it. So that's, we not gonna go there with that. That's a touchy situation. We talking about now. Yeah, he's in there for something he didn't get charged for. So he shouldn't be in there because he beat the big charge, right? But I don't wish him to go to jail. Somebody put, I don't know why Haas is trying to keep some sort of street code, but there are no street codes for perverts and murderers. All these folks turn a blind eye all these years for the bag, but all of a sudden they know right from wrong. Get the F out of here, Haas. Oh, they going in on Haas right now. Okay. Revenge indicates that someone is reacting to something done to them. Therefore, if Rodger is seeking revenge, then he feels that Diddy did something against him. It does not sound as if Rodger just betrayed Diddy. We got some good, smart people up here, man. The individuals who helped facilitate Diddy's perversions deserve prison time too. Diddy put black people down all the time. No one owes Diddy loyalty when he is not loyal. F out of here. Yeah, they going in on Haas. He didn't help bail your son out of jail, and now you bitter like the rest of them. Knock it off. So that's somebody that agree with Hassan, saying Barnes is bitter. People crazy, man. You damn right I'm bitter. He ain't helped bail my son out of jail. You got money and all the stuff I done for you. But what? Who wouldn't be bitter? And that's a person that if that would have happened to them, would be doing the same thing. Get out of here with that dumb talk, man. Cat said sometimes you have to tell Diddy no. Hey, Cat Williams said it. Yeah, let's go. Ain't nobody standing up for Diddy the man. They standing up for the principle. You don't kick a man when he down. That go for any man or any race. It's the principle. Barnes upset over his son's actions. Question mark. 50 Cent put our people in a 50-year setback. How is this acceptable in our community? They had a right to their opinion on that. Somebody said that man could have never pulled off what he did without help. Facts. With people like Barnes holding him down when he was touring, doing stuff so the people could see him on stage, and then he go outside and he's safe to go back home safe. All of the above. Somebody put correct. But I know no one forced him. He did the forcing. Then somebody said facts. They did Barnes dirty. They going in on Haas. Haas, any boss knows, well, any smart boss knows you got to feed the wolves. He don't feed the circle properly. He give them just enough to say. He paid them. That's a crab holding you back. Don't hold your homies back. Lift them up. Exactly. We got to lead by example. Facts. So what is Haas talking about, y'all? Somebody said disagree. His people worked for money and they wasn't getting paid, doing favors for a friend. But he not there when they need him. Nah. They going in on Haas. Somebody put totally agreed. And somebody else said they should have left. Somebody said this video is literally why Haas is the truth. He says what folks are scared to say. This is Frankie Jackson. What is Haas saying in here that people are scared to say? See, that's one of them type of people that follows ignorance. And there's millions of people that's like that in this world that goes on these podcasts and make podcasters rich because they don't pay attention to the real thing and what's really being said. Somebody could say something and say it in a demeanor with a cadence that sound like they talking about something, and it's trickery. And it sound like they saying something that somebody else wouldn't say. In which this whole thing that he's saying, I just dissected it for y'all. It don't even make sense at all. There's no logic to it. There's nothing. That means Hassan, if any of y'all is Hassan, homeboy, y'all better be careful because he ain't gonna do nothing for you, man. He gonna leave you dead to the wolves, man. That's what it sounds like to be. You ain't gonna help your boy get his son that is in jail illegally, and it's on documents stating with witnesses saying he wasn't even there. He didn't even have no gun residue in his hand. Nothing. None of it. Bro, you bugged out, homie. So yeah, man, I just wanted to come up here and do this and read a few comments and all that, man, and pull Hassan coat because I ain't up here to diss him. I don't gotta do all that. I'm up here giving him the real reality of what he just said. That doesn't make sense. And I ain't doing this because Barnes is my homeboy. I'm just speaking facts. If this was anybody else and I knew the story, I would come up here and say the same thing. Period. What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. You can't ask nobody to help you get out of jail when you wouldn't help them get out of jail. That'd be, I ask you to buy me a sandwich, you tell me no. As soon as you get hungry, you can't even get a sandwich because something's just gone all the way out of whack where you can't even get a sandwich. And you need me to give you a sandwich now. And I'm supposed to give you a sandwich. Well, how does that work, man? Make that make sense to me, y'all. Please drop a comment and let me know what y'all feel about this, man. Please share this, share this, share this. If you're new on the channel, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. Appreciate everybody showing me love and all that. But J Hood, I see you, man. And I don't live in Durham. But yeah. Harlem. But I'm in NC, baby. Just know that. And it's all comfortable over here, baby boy. In real life. So yeah, your boy Big Bootsie, I'm signing out, man. Don't believe the hype. listening to all this foolery, y'all. Salute.